Good morning, Church on the Ridge. Today is a brand new day and a brand new week. And all this week, we're going to look at the names of Jesus. Now, not all the names, there's way too many of them, but in the book of Matthew, Gabriel shows up to Joseph and he says, hey, Mary's going to have a son, and I want you to name him, you shall call his name Jesus. And we always think Jesus is such a special name. In fact, in the English language, we won't name our children Jesus because it's too sacred, too holy, and in our thinking. And yet in Jesus' day, it wasn't all that common of a name. I can imagine Joseph going, wow, he's going to be Emmanuel, the Son of God, or God with us. And all I'm going to do is call him Joshua, which is literally what the name is. It's a translation of the word Joshua. And he said, well, it's a very common name. Okay, I'll call him Jesus, Joshua. But if you think about Joshua, it may have been a common name, but he was a name that a lot of people wanted to name their kids after. He was the follower of Moses, took over after Moses, became the leader of God's people, led them into the promised land. In fact, it was only him and one other guy that went with them into the promised land that was of that generation. A young man named Caleb. Wasn't young when they went in. He was over 80 years old when they finally went into the promised land. But at the time, he was a young man. And we had our third son and our third child. It was a son, and his name is Caleb. And we began to think about, hey, what do we name our son? We named Stephen, a Bible name, Hannah, a Bible name. We wanted a Bible name. And Sandy came up with the name. We've got to name him Caleb because he is a man of faith, because Caleb was a mighty warrior and he trusted God. And that's the reason why he was one of the only two that actually got to go into the promised land, because he trusted God and he didn't die in the wilderness. And I looked up the original meaning of the name Caleb, and it literally means dog. Not a kind name, not a name you would name your kids. It wasn't kind in that day, and it's not really kind. If you call somebody a dog, it's not a term of endearment. Jesus at least was a common name, and named after Joshua the warrior, but Caleb, and yet when you think of the name Caleb, if you're a Bible person, you immediately think of a man of faith. You don't think of a dog. You don't think of some derogatory term, because Caleb didn't allow the names of his parents to define him. He didn't allow his past to define him. Didn't allow their lack of faith to define him. We don't know why they called him a dog. Whether he wasn't wanted, was a hassle to be, who knows? I don't know about you. I don't know what your parents have called you. I don't know what words have been spoken over you, what names you've been called, but don't let them define you. Rise above it. The name that is above every name, the name Jesus, has spoken life to you and has said how much he loves you. And he wants to fill you with faith this week, that you can rise above the naysayers, the derogatory statements, and all the lies of the enemy. So Father, I pray that this week would be a great week for all the Calebs of the world, all those who have been called names. But God, you have given us the strength, the power of your Spirit to go beyond what other people have said about us. We're going to live up to what the name that is above every name has said about us, that we are loved, that we are saved, that we are filled with your presence, and we receive your peace in Jesus' name. Hey, Church on the Ridge, I love you. Looking forward to a great week with you, and hope to see you soon in person. We look forward to that day as well. God bless you guys.